these are my thoughts about AP Calculus this year. My initial thoughts when I first came to class was that it was a forbidden higher learning, if that makes any sense, that it was for the gods or something. Because I remember my sophomore year, I saw all the calculus class seniors, and they were like having parties and stuff, and they were doing stuff with words with math, and they're finding area under curves, and I thought that was crazy. But as I came to know, it's really not that hard, and calculus is just it's just a bunch of concepts hidden in a bunch of algebra, and do algebra. That's very helpful. But excuse me, as a lot of you know, I say how calculus changed me, and it really has. I've learned to work a lot harder and do things that aren't easy because I'm one to slack off. And calculus it's helped me do things that are come challenging to me, because math isn't challenging to me, but calculus was the first math really that it's kind of hit me over the head, and where I had to pay attention, and it's helped me do physics, and it's helped the study patterns for my calculus has helped me with my English and my stats, and it's helped me with my learning. But it's also, I don't know, it's kind of changed me as a person. I think of myself more of a scholar. I guess it boosted my self-esteem, actually. It just makes me feel like I can accomplish something that other people can accomplish. It makes you feel like a superhero, actually. Yeah, it's because I think our whole class feels that way. It just changes you. I don't know. It's its own language, so like it's hard to translate. But it makes you feel better, and even if you do get smashed down by the first AP calculus practice test we took, I don't know if he has told you the story yet or if you heard it. We all jumped out the window, and we didn't know what we were doing, but that's you shouldn't jump out windows. We were rambunctious, so don't do that. Yeah. Let me look at my notes. 1 second. What I enjoyed least about calculus was nothing. I loved calculus, and yeah, there is nothing. There is no drama. There's hard work, but that was good. There was homework. Don't procrastinate. That's stupid. I did that, and it screwed me over. Don't procrastinate. There was nothing really that I did not enjoy. Changing teachers was pretty hard, but in the long run, I think that was the best for me, at least. Townsend's a really good math teacher. Yeah, so nothing bad came out of calculus. In the moment, it might have seemed that way, but it helps build you up, I guess, because you can't get better without trials or anything. But what I enjoyed the most about calculus, that's a more important question. I enjoyed the study groups we had together. because they really, really help, especially right before the AP test. There's this one that you'll probably do again. We went to this Catholic high school, and the first thing you walk in, you see like the sculpture of the crucified Christ, and you're like, whoa, this is a Catholic school. Anyways, it was really helpful, especially learning from a teacher who hasn't taught you at all. And so you really get a different perspective on calculus, because calculus really adapts to you personally and how you do it, because there's some set ways to calculus, but how you can explain it is different from person to person, unlike algebra. Like there's one rule for factoring, but I don't know. That's why people find calculus hard, because you have to learn how to do it for yourself in your own way, and learn how to teach yourself that it's right, because Mr. Townsend could only go so far for you guys, and you have to put in the hard work for yourself. I also enjoyed throughout the year. At the beginning of the year, I hardly knew anyone in that class besides Tamsin, because she was Tamsin and Michael, because they were my pre-cal buddies. But I didn't really know anyone in that class besides those two. And over the year, I've come to know all of them a little more than I'd like to. Just kidding, they're actually really cool. I love them all. But there's really a friendship that is built throughout the year, and it's really weird, but I like it a lot. I can go to anyone in that class with a question and ask them if it's calculus or personal. Like at the beginning of the year, we did this. You'll probably fight for yourself, and that's dumb. Don't do that. You need to work with others, or else you'll fail miserably. Because at the beginning of the year, we need to do this by ourselves. But then eventually we Skyped at some points, and we had phone calls doing our calculus work. The beginning of the year is rough, really rough. It weeds out the weak ones. So don't be weak. Be strong. Sorry about that. Where was I? So work together and don't be weak. It's not good. I hope my advice helps. Anyways, big concepts that I wish I would have learned. This mainly goes to Sam and Marley. Your life's gonna be hell, because Mr. Pfaff didn't really teach us trig or log rules very well. So you need to do that, because trig is really helpful, because unit circle, if you see us ever going like, we're doing the unit circle in our head, you'll find out about that. Townsend's pre-cal class already does, so I'm pretty sure. Anyways, yeah, so you know. So do a log trig. This year on the calculus test, there is a log function, and I didn't know logs as well as I like to, so I didn't do so hot. Oh, that's another thing. Anyways, so I didn't do so hot in my problem. But when you're taking, or before you take calculus, at least what I did, I was in a set way of how to do a problem. I was only looking this way, and I would, what are the steps to do the problem, and then I'd do the steps until I couldn't. So I'd be like, if there's a function, then I would take its derivative But if I couldn't do anything with that, then I would just stop and move on to the next problem. But what you have to learn in calculus, it was really hard for me, is that you have to tell them everything that they want, and even if you're not sure, just make up an answer, and because if they see that you're doing stuff right, they'll be more likely to give you points. So write everything you know down, and if there's some like, oh, don't forget units. Units are important. Just give them everything you know, and don't stop if you get confused. You can move on to the next problem, but make sure you come back, because more often than not, you'll remember it, and you'll remember what you need to do. And yeah, but make sure you give them everything you know, because the AP test really isn't that hard if you give them everything you know. It's actually pretty easy to make a 3 if you study all year. And even if you're not good at math, if you study all year and try your hardest, you'll definitely pass this calculus test. Don't worry about the first practice test, because that's brutal. We jumped out a window. It's okay. You'll do fine on the real calculus test. We are all prepared for the real calculus test. It's really, I don't know. This class has really changed how I look at life, honestly. It's just hard to put into words. I'm really glad I took calculus. At first I wasn't going to take calculus, but because I already had two other AP classes, and physics was killing me at the moment. But I really wanted to drop calculus, but I stayed in, mostly due to Tamsin, and that was probably the best decision I've ever made. Besides, just kidding, that is the best decision I've ever made in my educational career. Yeah. But don't fret, calculus isn't some dragon that's going to eat you, so it's all good. Goodbye.